Can we talk about Mar-a Lago? This historic meeting between Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform. He's now one of our most popular politicians, and the world's richest man, who bankrolled Trump's successful campaign to become president, and looks as though he's going to donate around 78 million to Reform, quite aside from the sort of loophole that he would take advantage of in order to do that. What's in it for Elon Musk?
I think a combination of things. He's clearly not very fond of Keir Starmer. He's been sort of beefing with him on social media for many, many months now. He does seem pretty convinced that this is a uniquely authoritarian Prime Minister, and he's particularly concerned about issues around freedom of speech. Apparently, in their discussion at Mar-a Lago, the Online Safety Act was discussed and what that could mean for his own platform of X. I also think the thing about this 78 million figure, this would be record-breaking in terms of a single donation for British politics. The current record is around 10 million by Lord Sainsbury in 2023 to the Conservative Party. But for Elon Musk, a man who is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, this is kind of money down the back of the sofa. So even just sowing a bit of discord, landing a blow against Keir Starmer, and also sticking up for what he sees to be issues that he cares about, like freedom of speech, it's a pretty low-risk venture for him and could also produce huge effects given the kinds of sums that we're talking about. Yeah,
you're right about it being low-risk. Whether he gave Reform money or not, Keir Starmer would not be re-elected. I just cannot be no way that it's been such a disastrous start to this socialist government not doing socialist things. I mean, the winter fuel allowance, what we're seeing here with this pension situation, not even to put up a defence and say, honestly, we're there, we're on your side, we want to do this, but this last lot have literally broken the bank and this is how bad the things are.
Messaging's not working, is
But
it?
as soon as we can, we'll sort this or whatever. There's nobody speaks with any truth or any conviction. You look at Yvette Cooper standing there saying, this has got to be changed. I mean, she's the, what is she, the she's the Home Secretary now. And, it just, politicians, they are pathetic in this country. We get what we deserve. Now, is Nigel Farage going to get a whole heap of money and he can do what he wants? I personally don't think Musk, there's question marks over what sort of character. He's like a blooming Bond villain. He is. He is. He really is.
Certainly looks like
one. Should Musk be allowed to interfere in our politics? I don't believe he should. But what
and should there be a cap, as you say, on donations? I mean, how would that make Reform the wealthiest political party in the country?
I mean, it's certainly in terms of the amount of donations. If you look at the amount that say that during the last election campaign, the single biggest donation was by the other Lord Sainsbury to the Labour Party, which was about 2.5 million. So this is a considerable amount of money by British political standards. We don't have the kinds of levels of donations that is generally seen in America. And there is a big question to ask about, should you have any kind of oligarch, whether they're domestic or internationally based, being able to just plough all of this money into a particular political party. But I think that's question is slightly separate to the fact of, I think the reason that this is so put the wind up a lot of people in politics is because they recognise how vulnerable Keir Starmer is for precisely the reasons that you've talked about, Eamon. He's his own worst enemy, regardless of what Reform or Elon Musk do.
Genuine question. Do you think it is unusual or strange or noteworthy that billionaires are attracted to a party that is appealing to the people? It's supposed to be the party of the ordinary person, and yet it's these billionaires that are getting involved. I just want to get to the crux of, do they think they're going to make a heck of a lot of money by changing regulations, deregulating everything to their advantage? I just wonder if there are questions about why these billionaires are interested in it.
And we should always ask those questions whenever you've got big money in politics. You have to ask what's in it for them. Are they going to be entirely altruistic about this? It is worth saying that, particularly in America, the big money has been behind the Democratic Party, certainly in the last election and beforehand. There is a selection of kind of Silicon Valley dissidents who have got behind the Trump campaign. 8 out of 10 of the top donations in the election that just took place were to the Republicans. Well, in terms of where the Silicon Valley money has been up until this point, it's not as if this is clear-cut towards one party or the other, towards a populist party rather than in the other direction. But it is certainly the case that they are taking interest in these issues, partly because I'm sure they've got their own agendas, but also partly because I think there's an element of them feeling that these particular countries are off track. But at the same time, when you've got the ease with which someone can influence an election just by nature of their pocketbook, that should concern us regardless of which individual it is.
Tom, for a moment, we'll say goodbye to you, come back again, and we'll see what reaction comes in, and we'll put that to you.
Right, we're going through what's making the news today in the company of the former Liberal Democrat Minister Norman Baker and the political commentator Paula London. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Red and green,
Morning.
and the very festive colours as well.
What about Elon Musk, Paula? Could we start talking about him and the possibility that he's going to bankroll the Reform Party and Nigel Farage?
Yes, a lot of people were enraged yesterday when Nigel posted a photograph of himself, Nick Candy and Elon Musk in America. And obviously, Elon practically helped Trump win the election. He's a very, very powerful man. He's extremely rich. Those three men together are worth about $500 billion, I believe.
Who is Nick Candy? What does he do?
Nick Candy is a property magnate.
Oh, yeah.
He's a money man.
He's married to the singer,
Holly
isn't he?
Valance.
Yes, Holly
Yeah.
Valance,
Yeah.
He was also a donor to the Conservative Party. He gave $250,000 to Boris Johnson. And now, obviously, he's moved over to Reform. And he has said that he can arrange around £40 million for Reform, and he's going to make a personal donation of £1 million plus himself.
Right,
So,
all of this fills me with dread. I'm just cutting across you here because I think this means that politics is out there to the highest bidder.
That's exactly right. And leave aside whether you're in favour of reform or not in favour of reform. This is not about this. This is about whether, A, someone with a huge amount of money can buy elections. And secondly, Elon Musk is an American. We're in
he's
this
actually
country.
South African.
OK, thank you. But I mean, he's not British, and he's talking from the States. And what he's doing is effectively interfering in our politics. And I do think we should either have A, huge amounts of money from one individual, or B, someone from overseas.
well, I don't think it's... Money, obviously, is a huge thing in politics, but it's the power of Twitter. So many people now decide who they want to vote for because of Twitter. It's not just about politicians being on TV, and obviously he has the platform. He's put his neck on the line, and let's not forget, if Trump had lost, he could have been arrested for election interference. So... yeah, Twitter's really going to help people because so many people are trying to silence people on the right around the West, and he won't let it happen. And that's why I'm very proud of him. Like, those three guys could save the West. So, yeah.
I don't know, save the West. I
Yes.
mean, there will be people, Elon Musk and Candy in particular, are people with so much money, they can skew the electoral process.
Well, look what happened at Lord Alley with Labour.
No, I don't agree with that either. People should be able to assess issues on the basis of whether they're right or wrong, whether they agree with them or don't agree with them, and they shouldn't be able to be influenced disproportionately by people who are able to spend huge amounts of money to buy up coverage on TV, radio and on the internet.
Why do you think billionaires are drawn to politics? I mean, if there is a desire to donate and solve some of the social issues that face us, could they not just wipe out the debt, for example, facing the NHS?
Of course they could do.
Or solve the problems in our schools. So what is it that you think that Nick Candy or Elon Musk will get
Power.
from this? And that doesn't worry you?
It does worry me a little bit. I think once you make a hell of a lot of money in life, for them, they just want power. They want to make change. I believe they have intrinsic satisfaction. They want to make the world a better place.
But why don't they do that by sorting out our schools and our hospitals?
It's much
and our
easier
social
with
problems?
politics because you know you can have a voice, but if you're in the inside, it's easier.
I don't think they want to make the world a better place. I think
space.
they want power. That's the first thing they want. And the second thing is they want to be able to ensure that their view of the world is imposed on other people, whether they want it or not. That's what they want.
And that's the thing, Norman. I mean, you were saying it doesn't matter who your political party is, who you support, or whatever. There should be a ring fence. There should be something around which says, this is politics, these are the political parties, these are the rules where you can become engaged in this or not, and money should not be part of what we're talking about.
Could there be a legal change before this happens?
Well, I mean,
to stop a party making or capping the amount a company could donate?
There could be, and in fact there should be. I'm in favour of public... I mean, this is a minority view. I'm in favour of public funding of political parties based on the number of members that a party has that generates a response from the taxpayer. Because, OK, it's going to cost public money, but it's much cleaner. It's much, much cleaner than what we have at the moment. And you cannot have someone coming in and giving £10 million or whatever it happens to be and getting a response. Elon Musk, by the way, has made an absolute fortune out of Trump because what's happened is his shares have gone up massively and the amount of money he gave to Trump has more than been covered by the increase in his share value.
Interesting. What do you think in all of this? Have your say. Get in touch with us today.
I have to say the inbox is absolutely awash with people thinking that it's anti-right and a liberal lefty position to question money in politics. So everybody's saying, he really doesn't care. and want anything in return. He's doing it at the goodness of his heart.
I know, but look at Lord Ali. People in Labour wanted to completely
but there was a
crush
national
us.
outcry, and people called it cash for...
Well, there's not much of an outcry. I mean, what's happened? We don't even know what he was supposedly getting for the money.
Suppose Arthur Scargill had been a billionaire. Would people be happy with that? Him buying up policy that way? I wouldn't be happy with that.
Well, he bought access to 10 Downing Street, so...
I'm not
literally,
saying that
physically, so...